Right, Blighty Boxing, we're here at the Everton Red Triangle in Liverpool and we're joined by 2-0 Super Bantamweight Brad Strand. How are you, sir?
I'm good, how are you?
Very good. Like we say, 2-0, age 22, out again, I believe, on the 28th of February. Give us a little sense of the story so far in your career. I mean, what's your amateur background?
I had about 70 amateur fights, won 4 national titles, boxed for England quite a few times, and won the senior ABAs in 2018, and just thought, turn over and just have a crack at the pros.
With that sort of pedigree, I mean, there must have been the temptation to perhaps get involved in an Olympic cycle, that sort of thing, because I mean, there isn't many amateurs that can carry that sort of a ledger around with them.
Yeah, no, that is really what I wanted to do, and as I got older, it did get harder. I had a couple of assessments, I got knocked back, and then when I won the ABAs, I was waiting to hear an assessment, and then I never ever got one through, so I just thought, I'm not waiting now no more, so I just thought I'd turn over.
I do hear this, where people kind of think there's a favoured few, or, maybe it's already decided it's a closed shop. Did you kind of just think you might be banging your head against a brick door?
No, well, I think I was a bit unlucky. When I was a youth, I had an assessment, and I had a badly injured hand, so I struggled with the sparring up there, and then my second assessment, when I was a bit older, I fractured my eye socket in the first spar, so I couldn't spar for the rest of the weekend, so they're my 2 assessments there really, so I was a bit unlucky on them, to be honest, but...
Or conspired against you, and you decided to turn pro. Are you a product of this gym as an amateur as well?
Yeah, I won the senior ABAs for the Everton Red Triangle.
Now, the reason I say this, because I mean, there's a very decorated amateur fighting out of this gym at the moment in Peter McGrail, and you've got the Olympics this year to look forward to. I mean, he's a little bit of a poster boy for the gym, shall we say?
Yeah, it's poster boy for Great Britain as well, isn't he, really? He's like doing it out there at the minute, isn't he? So, yeah, he's always in, whenever he can. Of course, he's always in Sheffield, but most Fridays he's in training and sparring, moving around, isn't that? So, good.
Right, back to you, and we're saying you made your debut March 2019 with a stoppage over Lee Stevens, who was also on debut. I mean, that's quite unusual, isn't it, to get 2 lads making a debut against each other? Find it different, or was it kind of like an amateur fight because you were fighting against someone who hadn't had a pro fight either?
I felt different in that I was a bit more nervous because it was the first time I'd had to go through selling tickets, so I had a lot of people there who'd pay to come and watch me, so I just felt a little bit more pressure, but once you get in the ring it all disappears, doesn't it, and you're at home. Then in the build-up I wasn't nervous in the gym.
Interesting point that, because something I think people don't appreciate is when you turn over is this ticket selling thing. Now, from fighters I know, I mean, it's like a stress cloud that hangs over fighters in the weeks building up to a fight, and I just don't think people quite understand the sort of levels of stress it brings.
Yeah, it's such a massive part about it, and I don't think people who are turning over actually realise, unless, like, we got told when we were turning over, like, it's one of the biggest things about it, and you don't actually realise till you actually get to selling the tickets that it's one of the biggest parts about it.
It's funny though, because if you had a friend who's a rugby player and it was sort of 30 quid, 40 quid to go and watch him, you wouldn't go and watch them play rugby every week, would you?
That's the thing. Like amateur football, you probably pay a $5 to go and watch them, but with the boxing now we've turned professional, it's expensive, but like these shows what we're on, there's a lot of good fighters on and they're all just waiting for the chance, so I don't think people realise how good the talent is on these smaller shows what we've been putting on.
That first fight got stopped on a cut. I mean, was it going well before that anyway?
Yeah, he just had quite a high guard, and I was landing quite a few right hands, and his eye really swelled up. I don't think he could see out of it. I think that's why it got stopped.
You're out again in September against Nabil Ahmed, who was 0-2, not a very experienced professional, and that one took you the distance. Was that like a different side of the coin, sort of up against a negative type opponent?
Yeah, it was. Like, he was very bit of a mad style, and he'd have his hands around here and his head would be everywhere, and it was just like a good little learning fight of just a completely different opponent, and how to deal with that opponent, and that's all it is. You got to take every fight and you learn with every fight and keep progressing until you get up there and you get your chance to do whatever you want to do.
I'm going to ask you, and obviously it's relevant because of the likes of yourself, Peter McGrail, the other young boys you've got in the gym, and you've got a lot of young, hungry, talented fighters in the gym. Look at the Liverpool boxing landscape. Does it need another hero at the moment? I mean, someone to come through, another, in my view, maybe another headliner to come through and grab the public attention?
Yeah, we haven't had one for a while, have we? So everyone knows Liverpool. It's got like so many good boxers come from here, and I just think now we just need someone just to take it to the next level. And I know Callum Smith's doing really well, but someone just needs to get on that big stage, and because there's not many big shows in Liverpool unless it's Callum Smith anymore, is there?
I was going to say, because people say Liverpool or say Liverpool is a fight city, but the big shows aren't really coming here, are they? And it's because maybe, you know, there isn't someone to really get people out of their front doors.
It hasn't been for a while, and I remember years ago when I was a kid and when David Price was coming through, there was loads of shows, but as of late, there's hardly any, is there?
I mean, there's a throne to be seized there, I guess.
Yeah, and we all want to, hopefully it can be all of us out the gym on the same card in the Echo Arena, selling out there, that'd be boss.
How hard is it, though, to sort of make boxing, or bring boxing to the forefront in a city so dominated by football?
Yeah, it is hard. I love footy as well, so I mean, don't know whether you're ever going to bring it to the forefront. Like, people like what they like, don't they? But I know that Callum Smith was trying to get a world title at Anfield, so that'd be quite a big thing if that managed to come off, wouldn't it?
You say you love your football. What's your team? Red. Was there plenty of stick going around at the moment? 19 points clear at the top of the league?
Yeah, I know. Don't know where Everton are either.
I'll say, what was it like for people of the other persuasion, the blue side, you know, friends of yours, once they got beaten by Liverpool youth stroke reserve team in the FA Cup the other week?
I was away for that one, and my dad's mate was there with his two lads, and we watched them in that pub together, and they proper fancied themselves when they seen our team, and then they couldn't believe it, like they weren't happy with it.
Must have been absolutely relentless in workplaces, pubs, I mean, taxis. I mean, you just, well, I don't know, you still probably wouldn't be over it, would you?
They're not over it now, are they? So, and every week they get an even worse result, but it's just one of them things that's just got to get on with it, haven't they?
Moving back to boxing, I think we're better. The super bantamweight scene in this country, I know it's early days for you, but I want to ask you about a forthcoming British and Commonwealth title fight. It's a rematch. Brad Foster, British champion, Commonwealth champion, against Lucian Reid. I presume you watched the first fight, being that it's your weight and you're boxing and that?
To be honest, I only caught the highlights of that, to be honest. I'm not really, like, I'm clued up on boxing, but, like, clued up down, like, my weight and that, like...
It's your weight?
Yeah, I know that's my weight, but I'm not really, like, clued up on who's doing what, and I know that, like, when I get to that stage, just leave that up to my manager and they'll get me the fights, and I'll fight whoever's in front of me, but I don't really look at who's doing what at my weight.